We also have to look at what we're doing. What are we doing? Who are we engaging with? How much of this stuff do we bring into our lives? We're not always innocent. Sometimes we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you think, it's what the other person thinks, understanding how they think, getting into their head and speaking to them. Being competitive means I can compete with you in ideas without it being ugly, without being confrontational or conflict. But what we've done is we've made conflict a confrontation, this very negative thing. We don't want it. When it happens, people lose their minds. I have so many people reach out, especially when I do consulting. The question's always, how do I avoid confrontation? How do I avoid conflict? Why do you spend so much time avoiding it? Why do you spend so much time avoiding speaking what you want to say, speaking your truth or sharing your ideas? And why can you not present them in a way where there is disagreement? There is competitiveness. I compete, you compete. No, the sky's green. Well, I see it this way. Oh, I see it blue. But why do you see it this way? And you have that dialogue. It's not me being a jerk to show you how smart I am.
Yeah.
And it's not me shutting you down. And it's not me having an attachment to the end result. Me being right. And me showing you how right I am. Confident people don't care how right they are. They don't. When you're confident, it's like, I know what I know. I'm good with it. This person sees things a different way. And also, it also comes into where the dialogue, where sometimes we think, well, I'm saying this, and this is what I mean. You also have to think, what is this person hearing? So just because I think, well, I said this, it's like, that's great, but what are they hearing? How do they hear you? Avoid it to certain degrees when it's noise, when it's chatter. Like people talk to me about politics all the time because I was former Secret Service. I don't participate. To me, it's noise, it's chatter. I don't share. And I never speak about the people that I had access to or protected.
Sure.
So, but it doesn't matter to me. So it depends. If it's important to you, you should address it. What you do is it causes long-term regret. If you don't address it, it causes you to build up resentment, anger, bitterness, and hate. That's where that comes from. Maybe they know, but if you don't check them, because from time to time in life, you have to, when I say check, address it.
Yeah.
You said this. This is how I see this. And when you debate something with people, use language that's factual. You said this, you said this, you said this. Rather than trying to speak to people, you did this, you said this, because you're giving somebody factual and tangible to look at. Rather than, I feel this way, I feel that way. That's what happens is we get lost a little bit. Okay, this is how I took it.
Okay.
This is why it's upsetting to me. Okay, is this how you see me? Is this true? We also have to check in with ourselves sometimes. We provoke people, or we can be difficult people to deal with. We always and there's this, I don't know if you've noticed this, there's this this theme out there. Everybody's a narcissist and everybody's toxic.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Everybody. And we don't realize, one, toxic people hang out with toxic people. So check in with yourself. So if you're around a lot of toxic people, check in with yourself.
Right.
And then you can't label everybody a narcissist. You can't label everybody something just to make it okay for you. Because we also have to look at what we're doing. What are we doing? Who are we engaging with? How much of this stuff do we bring into our lives? We're not always innocent. Sometimes we are. Especially, in certain situations with serious trauma or abuse, especially with children. There are some situations where that is completely innocent. But then if you see a pattern in your life, if you see this, you have to find a way where you are not afraid to speak. Conflict and confrontation have a very negative stigma. And I always tell people, embrace confrontation. When I worked in the White House, you have the cabinet room. The president sits in one seat, and you have all the heads of the different departments. The whole goal of the cabinet room was to debate things. So instead of, if somebody says to you, or your boss says to you, I didn't like the way this was done, do it this way next time, and you hear, he doesn't like me, there's an issue there. Because you're making everything too much about yourself.
Yeah, taking it too personal.
You're taking it, yes, your identity is becoming tied into everything. Whereas, can you just hear what he said or she said? They're telling you they didn't like the way this was done to be effective, right? And execute quickly to get things done. They're just telling you, I don't like it, I want it done this way. And so we've lost that ability too, to not make everything about us.
Yeah.
We're also in this very me space. Everything's me. And we don't think about the other person across from us. What are they dealing with? It's my boss. There's a deadline. They're just trying to communicate with me in an efficient way. And I think one of the blessings that I had from being in the Secret Service, it was just very direct. Hey, this wasn't supposed to be done this way. Get it done this way.
Really?
And we were so much more efficient. I will tell you this though. When people feel too comfortable with you, they will challenge you more. They will test you more. They will push back more. The more comfortable people feel with you. Think of it. The people that know you the best in life, they push you back. They push back the most. They'll call you out the most. And sometimes not in a healthy way, in an unpleasant way. But there is something powerful with keeping some things about you to you. You don't have to be an open book. And I know this goes against a lot of be vulnerable. I'm not telling you to be a jerk, and I'm not telling you to conceal everything about you. But what I'm telling you is you need to have a filter. Nobody needs to know, people don't need to know everything about you.
Yeah.
Keep that stuff to yourself.